It's over. The Toronto Blue Jays miss out on another key free agent. They miss out on Corbin Burnes, and Corbin Burnes shocks the baseball universe and signs with not the Giants, not the Blue Jays, but the Arizona Diamondbacks. He goes back home, and Ross Atkins is under fire by fans, under fire by media, and the Jays miss out on yet another free agent. We're going to break down all of that on this episode and discuss what this means going forward for this Blue Jays team, because their options are running out. Their plan Bs are running out. They're now into plan C, D, E, whatever you want to call it. We're going to break it all down. But ladies and gentlemen, the Jays miss out on another free agent. And guess what? They had the highest offer once again. But ladies and gentlemen, it is super late as the time of recording. This obviously just dropped. It's, past 3 a.m. The video is obviously going to go out early, but it, this is just my immediate reaction. We'll probably have another video later today discussing some more updates, but this is just my immediate reaction. Burnes signs $210 million, 6 years, opt out after 2 years. Just absolutely absurd. And again, it's a 6-year, $210 million deal. Phenomenal deal for Corbin Burnes. And again, an opt-out after 2 years was something that really would be perfect for the Toronto Blue Jays and would have been a great fit for the Jays. And you see this here, but ultimately he chooses to go home with a surprise deal. He is an Arizona resident. Now the D-backs have a dynamic rotation of Burnes, Zach Gallen, Kelly, Erod, and a bunch of other guys, including Jordan Montgomery. So you're looking at this now and you're thinking, hey, what do the Jays do from here? Because they in the same day, they had the highest offer to Corbin Burnes and they had the highest offer to Teoscar Hernandez. And in the span of 1 day, you miss out on both of them. You can see this here from Bob Nightingale. Corbin Burnes was offered more by the Giants than the Blue Jays, but big tax difference in Arizona. The Jays were the highest bidder for both Burnes and Teo today. They missed out on both of them. You miss out on two of the top free agents, two of your top targets when you offered the most money. And there's a reason for that. The team right now is fundamentally flawed. Your two best players in Vladdy and Bo are pending free agents after this season. You have an aging starting rotation. You have no prospect pool. Everything that would attract a free agent, specifically like Corbin Burnes, away from his hometown, because he was getting offered more by the Jays, yes. But why would he come to Toronto when he wants, of course, he's in his 30s now, early 30s. He wants to compete for years to come. The Jays have no farm system and their best player isn't under contract. Regarding Teoscar Hernandez, the same thing. Now, obviously, money speaks most of the time. And usually the players ultimately they usually pick where the cash is and where the money is. But when you're looking at some of the highest tier free agents and they have a lot of offers from multiple different teams for a lot of different avenues here into a lot of money. In this case, 6 years, $210 million. The Jays reportedly had 7 years, $245 or more. You're screwed because the Jays don't have their core, locked down. They don't have a future when it comes to prospects unless, some major breakouts happen and they get a good pick this year, even though they fell in the draft. Like, everything is looking bad right now, and it's over in the sense of Corbin Burnes. And we'll get into some optimism approach here. And of course, yesterday we had a stream regarding this whole situation, and the stream, everyone was basically just saying that Ross needs to make a big signing. Corbin Burnes was offered more by the Jays and Giants, but the big tax difference. I understand exactly why he went to Arizona. And let's not forget, Arizona is a very good team. Made the World Series a couple of years ago. Gabriel Moreno, all those things. They have a great young starting pitching staff. They have some great young players, a great young core. They extended Lourdes Gurriel Jr. They're a very good team, and they're going to be a perennial playoff team for years to come. And Corbin Burnes is a veteran, gets to go back home and gets to compete in the NL West consistently for division championships, for the World Series, all these different things. It makes all the sense in the world from Corbin Burnes' perspective, especially given the fact that he was offered $210 million over 6 years. But from the Jays' perspective now, what do you do from here? You have a few different options. I mean, you can see this here from earlier today. This was after they missed out on Teoscar Hernandez. Burnes, Santander, and Helsley, all is right in the world. And I brought this up in the stream and said, hey, this would be a good offseason. Well, you can check another one off the list. Burnes, Helsley, and Santander. No Burnes. So Santander and Ryan Helsley via trade. Sure, maybe that would make Jays fans happy out there. But at the end of the day, you need to now, if you're Ross Atkins, explore all avenues. Do I think they needed an ace-level starting pitcher? No. But I think because of how good the rest of the AL East got, and the Jays have struck out on almost everybody, literally everybody besides Jimmy Garcia and Andres Gimenez trade, you need to start looking at how you can make this team better. And if they do it via trade, I think that's the most likely outcome right now. They don't have a ton of great prospects to trade necessarily, but if you go via trade at a big starting pitcher, or in this case, they need bullpen arms desperately. And if you go out and you spend that 245 million, or some of it obviously, into a couple of elite relievers, then maybe you could salvage this offseason. But you need offense. You need hitters. Santander is still available. If Santander is not a Blue Jay, it is devastating. Worst case scenario, everything is bad. Because or Jurickson Profar, but if you strike out on Santander, you have zero path to compete next year unless you make blockbuster trades. And I don't think a Nolan Arenado trade would solve anything. He wouldn't even waive his no trade clause to come here. So you're at the point now where you're offering free agents the most money, Soto, Hernandez, and now Corbin Burnes, and they're not accepting it because the team structure is poor. You need to go out and you either need to make a trade, you need to extend Vladdy, you need to do something. You can't, again, they went to the Dodgers earlier, you can't keep letting this happen. We know how good Corbin Burnes was this season, over 194 innings pitched. Like, I don't need to tell you guys how good he has been, a 2.92 ERA. And again, they made an okay trade. They traded for Andres Gimenez. You're at the point now where what do you do if you're the Toronto Blue Jays? Do you go out and do you make a trade for a really good player? Do you go out and you need to sign Anthony Santander or Jurickson Profar? If you don't sign either of those guys, you are absolutely screwed unless, again, bearing a blockbuster trade. Teoscar is probably the Jays' #1 target. Okay, they didn't get him. You pivot now to Santander. You get him signed tomorrow. There is no time to waste. Or I guess today is at the time of uploading. You get him signed Saturday, December 28th. You have no time to wait anymore. You have nothing else you can do. You missed out on every single key free agent that was on your list. Now there's just a bunch of plan Ds, and it's going to be 2023 offseason all over again where they end up with the scraps, which was Justin Turner. No disrespect to them, of course. Kevin Kiermaier, all those IKF. They flipped them into decent prospects. I'm sick of it at this point. They need to go out and do something. And do I blame the front office for the free agents not picking them? Not directly, but it is indirectly, fully, or even directly, even fully their fault because they didn't extend Vladdy. They haven't had a good prospect pool in place. The only good thing they did over the past 6 months was be sellers at the deadline and get some really good assets for Kikuchi, Justin Turner, IKF, getting Charles McAdoo, all these different guys, Jake Bloss. Like, their farm system's a lot better than it was, but it's still bottom in the MLB. You need to go out and you need to do right by the fan base because if not, no one's going to show up for games. Their attendance is going to plummet. And you're at a point now where you're missing out on all the fan favorites. You're missing out on all your main targets. You need Santander signed today. You need to pivot. You need to make a big trade. Sign Santander and sign Bregman. Is it a good contract? Alex Bregman's absolutely not. Is it going to end up aging well? Absolutely not. You need to win games next season. And if you don't, Ross Atkins' job will be gone. Mark Chaparro's job will be gone. So they're going to need to go, and they might make a panic move, whether it's trade, whether it's Alex Bregman. They need to do something, find someone to take their money, give Santander $110 million, whatever it takes, $120 million. It's not going to age well anyway, but you need someone who's going to be able to produce. But let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. Obviously, it's ridiculous right now. Jays missed out once again, and unfortunately, the Jays need to make a move, and they need to make one fast. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. See you guys later.